Hi, Tarot Tribe, Wilma from Freyja's daughter, and I'm here today to kind of talk about sort of what's happening in the economy. And also, I have a friend who's starting up a new business who was asking me to pull some cards for him, so I thought I would do that today and sort of give a reading on where that's going. Um, it's been interesting because I've been following sort of the uh, economy information that has been sort of floating around YouTube for a while. And it's interesting to me that finally this week it suddenly has hit mainstream news. So, and it's now sort of listed everywhere on the news about what's going on. This has been sort of talked about kind of behind the scenes for quite some time. And I guess it's the slow build up to getting to this place. So it is worrisome for some people. And certainly if, you're in a situation where you might be in a lot of debt, that can even be more so. So for my friend today, he's very innovative and starting up a new venture. And so I want to kind of see pull some cards, see what's happening, where he's going with that. I'm using the Lightseers Tarot, which is a new deck that I reviewed in one of my other recent uploads, and so I wanted to use that because he himself is just a person who is very much a light seer, so I thought it was appropriate to use a deck that would probably speak to his, very positive energy. So I'm just shuffling here, and then I'm going to pull out a couple of cards. So we're just focusing basically on this new venture. I don't know a ton about it, but we'll see what kind of information comes out here. Okay. This one wants red right here, and it's giving me some trouble. This one wants red, and this one wants red. Okay, so, all right, so the first things I can tell right now, it's just really showing me, we've got the, I love this deck, it's so pretty. So we've got the Wheel of Fortune and the Knight of Pentacles. So this to me is just showing kind of, where he is right now. So in this situation, it's absolutely, he's in that pursuit of going after his work, his business, that Knight of Pentacles energy of kind of, creating, watching over and pursuing after what he wants. And to me, this card here is, when I see that card come up, it's that, it's fate, it can be the turning of the seasons, but it really for me oftentimes is about the time is now, or that this is sort of something that is really kind of meant to be. So I really feel like, he's, this is sort of positive affirmation that he is in the place that he really needs to be right now. When we kind of look at, I'm just going to do a quick past. This is the past scenario here. This is just really shows me that, he has come out of a period of time in which, there was a lot of worry, a lot of difficulty, a lot of challenge. That's sort of indicated in that Nine of Swords card. And the Hermit card, which really is a clear indication to me that, he needed a lot of time to kind of go inward and to process and to kind of really kind of gain a perspective and on himself and where he wanted to go. And in fact, I have done other readings for him in the past, so this is not at all unsurprising to myself or to him, because of course he's living his life, as my cards are falling on the ground here. So whenever cards fall on the ground, I generally say they want to be read. So we'll set these aside here and look at those in a second. So then sort of moving forward with this business venture for me, we've got just really great positive cards about that. So we've got the Fool card and we've got the Seven of Pentacles. So it's really showing me that it's just, this is significant. This is really, him, kind of, maybe putting aside his fears, his worries, and his doubts, because of course there's a lot of that in any new venture that you are partaking of, and really kind of take that leap of faith that, especially when we have this card of harvest here, which is the Seven of Pentacles card, really indicates that, if he sort of trusts within himself, even in the face of that unknowable future, which is the unknowable future of the Fool, because you don't know what you're going to find when you jump off that cliff, right? Whether or not it's going to be good, which is part of the reason why he's having this reading with me, but that he will reap the benefits of his harvest. The other card, of course, with the Seven of Harvest card is an indication that, this is something that's going to require work and tending and, building, but that if he is willing to kind of do all of that and sort of be prepared for everything, that unknowable future, he will, be successful to reap that. Finally, our two cards that sort of fell off the edge. This is great. Okay, so we have these two cards. One, we've got the Death card or the Rebirth card. Okay, so remember, death and rebirth are both the same thing, because you can't have one without the other. We've got that cycle of life, right? So when something dies, something else is born. And we've got the Emperor card. So this is just perfect indication to me for him, because it ends his business venture that he's going forward, because it's really telling me that he is in a moment of huge, huge change in his life. So he's aware of that, we're aware of that, but that this is going to be a significant change for him in sort of allowing him to kind of achieve his full potential. And certainly from a business aspect, when we see that Emperor come up, that is an indication that, he's going to be able to achieve his potential to be what he really seeks to be in terms of his business success and what he wants to do. And although he's, done very well, of course, in work and stuff in the past, it's always been, in another context, but this is where he gets to reign as Emperor and King and Supreme. So there's that shift. So to me, this is a perfect indication coming after sort of that, a positive affirmation, excuse me, of taking that leap of faith into this business venture, that this is going to be the position and job that's going to allow for him to kind of fully achieve what he seeks to achieve in terms of his success. So that to me is kind of the perfect follow-up response. So basically from the cards that I've pulled for him today, it's an absolute kind of, yes, from, spirit, from the universe, saying that this is definitely a venture that is worthwhile, that although, there is going to be some anxiety to sort of kind of move forward and take that leap of faith, because there's a knowable aspect that, in doing so, he's going to reap the benefits of, the hard work and stuff that he puts into it, and that this is finally a position that's going to allow him to achieve what he's been seeking in terms of his overall goals for himself and work and business and what he wants to achieve. So that's great. Now I want to pull a couple of cards today just to look at also at the kind of overall reading for the rest of us in the world as to what's happening with the recession. And I'm just gonna do sort of a three cards, or sort of a past, present, future kind of quick pull for everyone. And I'm using for that, of course, my usual Sinking Wasteland. Oh, look what's come up at the bottom. The world. Oh my God. Okay, so let's use that as our, all right, this is reading is for us, the world. Okay. All right, so I'm going to, of course, for those of you who are noticing, I'm pulling up two cards at a time, because that's what I do. I never read a single card on its own. I always read two cards together, because it just provides with more information, and it just gives, fleshes out the whole reading. Okay. Woo! Wow, this is fascinating. Okay. Oh, all right. All right. Okay. So when we look at sort of this overall reading for us, what it's sort of showing first off, and we've got, you know, that there are, you know, there's heartbreak, right? And that, you know, the information is coming out. We've got this King of Swords. So there are, you know, sort of these people, these men in particular, who are in positions of power and authority, who are really kind of, you know, coming from a very cold place that is kind of, you know, working towards their own benefits and not towards those of us and who are part of the world. So they are really, you know, they're the ones who are contributing to this heartbreak and this sort of this situation that's coming, which we are definitely aware of. So what we have here is we're showing that we have this mentality of kind of greed and, you know, taking everything for themselves. And, you know, people, again, this sort of emperor card, this card that's come up in here, which is really kind of indicative of, you know, those in positions of power who are going to, you know, try and, you know, kind of manipulate the situation, try and kind of like save the day, try and kind of, you know, sort of do what they need in terms of kind of to fix the situation. But let's see where we are when we go forward. Okay. All right. So there's our Page of Cups, who's, you know, essentially drowning, right? So, and so for those of us who are, you know, poor, who are kind of just doing our best to make ends meet, who are kind of going about in the best that we can in that, it's going to be a painful, difficult struggle for us. It's going to be a new, challenging beginning, you know, and it's going to have emotional, you know, impacts on all of us. You know, this greed that has led to this for people is going, Ginny, stop it, is going to have, sorry, the dog. It's going to have emotional impacts for those of us who are the most vulnerable and the poor. And then finally, we've got our Ace of Cups, which really sort of indicating that, you know, this sort of the overall, you know, impact of this is going to be in terms of people having to, it's going to be kind of an emotional connection one. It's going to be one in which, you know, it's going to really hit, you know, on a very, very personal level. And people are going to have to make sacrifices and difficulties and challenges overall in the overall scheme and plan of their lives. And it's one thing sort of with, you know, challenges with work just are not out with sort of the rest. We don't, you know, sometimes people like to compartmentalize. This is not about compartmentalizing things because it permeates every aspect of your life and can have significant impact and damages because people have debt and they have real struggles and challenges and it's going to affect. I'm just going to pull finally just two more because I'm just feeling like there's something more to be said here. Okay, you know, look at this. We had the entire, look, this family that came up. So we had got what I pulled, the King and Queen of Cups. So that to me is telling me that it's the only way forward and through this. And what I'm feeling is really saying is that we need, you know, leadership that is coming from the heart. So the King and Queen of Cups. You know, and I'm not sure if this is sort of referencing this sort of forthcoming, you know, election cycle, but that the way through is with people as opposed to, you know, those who have got us into this place, those who sort of went from a place of, you know, sharp cutting, you know, self-centered perspective, you know, leadership that comes from, you know, care for the rest of us. Care that really is sort of well-meaning care that is going to sort of do what is best for all of us. So, yeah, so that's my reading on the recession and sort of what's happening and where we're going to go. And I hope you enjoyed that today. And for my friend, there's your reading for you. And hope all goes well. I'm sure it will. See you. So one last thing before I go. please, I myself am starting up this new business here, tarot business, and putting on videos and stuff here on my YouTube channel. So if you are enjoying the videos that I'm placing, please like them and subscribe, and you'll get notified of any new videos that I put up. I'm trying to kind of, do a variety of different videos and readings for different current events, as well as just showcasing my reading style for those of you who may be interested in having a reading with me. If you are, you can go to my website at wickedtarot.com, and I will put that information here and down below so you can access it. And I have a variety of readings that I do, relationship readings, career readings. I've got some specialty readings, Face Your Dark Side tarot reading, and sort of specific love and relationship focused readings. So, and I can of course create anything that is specific to your particular needs. So you can find all that information down below. But thank you, and like and subscribe. See you later.